Are 6 months away from primary day for the New York governor's race, and it seems like a long time, but before you know it, voters will be hitting the polls. We want to make sure you are informed in all the big races before you get there. Joining us now, one of the candidates hoping to earn the GOP nomination in the race for New York governor, Andrew Giuliani. So, Mr. Giuliani, good to see you here on Picks on Politics.
Dan, great to be with you. You know, I always have an affinity for WPIX. Some of my earliest memories were coming in studio when my mother was anchoring the evening news. So.
Yes, there you go, right? So let me first off and begin, Mr. Giuliani, with why, and give me the 20-second why of why you want to be governor of New York.
Well, three things, right, that we hear all around the state, not just in New York City. One, we need to reduce crime. Unfortunately, what we've seen over the last 4 years and now from this Manhattan district attorney, we're going the wrong way. Two, parents need more choice in education. That means more charter schools and tax vouchers for parents. And three, we need to make sure that from an economic standpoint, New York is not competing with California to be the highest tax state, and that we're job creators in New York.
All right, so let me dive into some of those topics right there, because you were recently endorsed by former GOP mayoral candidate Curtis Sliwa. How important is New York City to you during this campaign, first and foremost, to have that kind of endorsement?
Oh, well, I think Curtis is one of the most important endorsements in the state. You know, one of the things about Curtis, there are a couple different things. Obviously, I think New Yorkers, whether or not you voted for him or not, you have to respect the fact that for 43 years with the Guardian Angels, he's been out there and putting his life and body on the line for New Yorkers. On top of that, and I think sometimes people don't really know this about Curtis, he really is one of the best people at understanding municipal politics that I've ever talked to. So he's been invaluable, not just from a media standpoint and getting out there supporting us, but also behind the scenes.
So I checked out your website, sir, to get some of the specifics on your plans. And unless I'm missing something, it's a little thin on the details on your website as for plans of what you just described, right? A lot of issues to tackle. So let's begin with the big one, crime. That was top on mind of our voters during the entire mayoral campaign. What's the plan?
So the plan is simple, right? From a state perspective, and even new Mayor Adams has said this, we need to make sure we repeal bail reform. Adams is, that's one of the reasons why Adams came out of the Democratic primary. For me, it's been an issue wherever we go around the state, it's the #1 issue that gets talked about. And that's not just in New York City and Rochester, it's also in rural areas on the southern tier and in the North Country. So for us, it's repealing bail reform. And to be honest, it's standing by our police. I think for too long, we've heard this narrative that the police are the problem. For me, I think it's very simple. You're going to have a governor in Albany that's going to stand by our police, that can go through the gray areas and can proactively police again. If a policeman is willfully wrong, then they're going to be held to account. But for the most part, we need police officers going to be proactive. And because of that, and the nature of the job, they need to go into some of these gray areas and do their work. Big
topic right now. Of course, we're in the midst of a pandemic still. How would you evaluate the job of Kathy Hochul as governor on her handling of COVID? She's instituted a statewide mask mandate, which has caused some tension in areas like Nassau County, with the new county executive Bruce Blakeman refusing to comply here. What's your position?
I am against the mandate. I don't believe there should be a mask mandate. I think the more science that we look at with this, and I think you've even seen at some points Dr. Fauci, and you've seen some of the CEOs of the airlines talk about how little effective the masks actually are. And especially when it comes to, for instance, our school kids, I think it's very important from a developmental standpoint that children can see each other's face. I mean, I'm Italian, but the truth is we all end up talking using our 90% of our skills in communicating are nonverbal. To take away the bottom half of your face like that, I think really hurts the development. So I am anti-mandate, whether it comes to a vaccine mandate or whether it comes to a mask mandate. I do believe that sorry, go ahead.
You're against those. So then what would you do to mitigate some of the numbers if we're still in a surge if you were to win the race?
I think it's about being honest with the data and with the numbers. And I think, unfortunately, we haven't had as much honesty coming out of Albany, whether it was the 56th governor, Cuomo, or whether it's Hochul now. I mean, Mary Bissett just a couple of weeks ago admitted that she lied about a subsect of children who had been hospitalized because of COVID because they wanted these children to get the vaccine. To me, it's about being honest with the numbers and the data wherever the politics ends up leading. And I think that, unfortunately, we have not seen over the past couple of years from Albany.
Only 15 seconds left. You're certainly in a tough race. Congressman Lee Zeldin has all but said he's the presumptive nominee here, getting a lot of endorsements from around the state. You confident you can pull this off?
Absolutely. Look, the last 4 polls, 3 of which our public polls had us up between 15 and 24 points on the congressman. So he may be the presumptive nominee, but will be the actual nominee come June 29th.
Andrew Giuliani, first appearance here on Picks on Politics. We'll talk to you throughout the campaign. Thanks for being here.
Always great to be back on WPIX.
All right. Take care, sir. We'll talk to you soon. And